Well, it's finally finished. I expected it to be finished about 2 months ago, actually. This is David's star. This is the new kit. It is very large, 40 across, and I really wanted this rug to be done for the class, for the layout section, because it's a very important rug. It's very different and unique, and it's a rug that I wanted to show different things about triangles with. So I'm going to go over what's in the kit. The kit is a wool base. There's wool underneath here in 3 different colors. I don't have the burgundy. Pennies. And no, they are not black. They may look black on the camera, but they're not. And you will need to wait for the layout section to find out why they're not black. And various colors of yarn. And this is a special yarn that I brought in and I dyed, and the yarn is what gives the rug the colors. It's not the pennies. Usually pennies give rug color in a penny rug, but it's completely done with the yarn and with the base fabric. So now the kit comes to you well, perhaps I'll tell you that in the next section, because I have to get some things ready. Now the kit will come to you with the triangles put together. I'm going to put them together before I ship them because they're a bit tricky, and I'll tell you that in the layout section. But I'm using the terrible interfacing that we find in the men's jackets that we can't get off. I'm going to put them together with that. And when you receive it, you will need to stitch it together in this is a herringbone stitch, and I think that's a good stitch because you don't want it to come apart. And if you see, it comes apart there. See if I can get it there. It comes apart, and with the stitching it doesn't. Then it's just a simple matter of placing your pennies on the triangles. There is a way to do that, and I will show you, but essentially it's just putting your pennies on and stitching, making sure that the right colors go in the right sections. And you really can't miss with that because the green is the brown would be here, the brown would be here, the green, this is the green that's underneath. It doesn't look like it, but it is, and that's one of the things that I really want to show you in the layout. And once that's finished, you can either blanket stitch the edge. We need to cut it, and I will show you how to do that. You blanket stitch the edge, or you line it and put your lining up over. Attach these, and the rug is finished. It's a very simple rug to do, to stitch, but it is a lot of stitching. It took me over 40 hours just to do these little pieces, and that's not including putting them on. So it's very time consuming. You'll probably get it done by Christmas, and it would be a beautiful Christmas rug. Now in the next section I will tell you a bit about the rug and how I made it. This rug was a personal challenge for me. I really enjoyed working it out and making it. It was frustration beyond imagine at some points, but I never ever thought that I couldn't do it. It was just a matter of figuring out what I did wrong and correcting it. And the other thing I've learned from this rug is there are some rugs that you really can't kit up. I could not make this rug smaller. It had to be a 1.5-inch penny because of the star in the center. I could not shorten the pennies up because it didn't have that long look of a triangle. It's rather pointed, and as you go out with your triangle, it gets longer this way, and it has longer points on it. Some triangles are really short, so I really had to do this size. And in doing this size, I found I had to use wool on the bottom, which is another thing that I really never do. I always use cotton. So essentially, this rug is 6 of the diamond teaching rugs. So the amount of wool and the amount of time to dye the wool is equivalent to really 6 times 48. And there's no way I can get that much from a kit, and I would never expect you to spend that much. So there are not going to be very many of these kits. It's too much wool, too expensive, and too time consuming to do a lot of. And when I say a lot of, I mean the same as the teaching rug and the 3 of diamonds. I'm going to put a few on, and I'm going to give you a choice of either with the triangles on the edge or plain. And I have 2 photos. And I will show on our group the original rug. That's a photo of it. It is on Deborah Fisher's Antiques on Facebook. And that rug was a large rug too. It was 41 inches. So I'm going to go right ahead and make the next design that I'm going to do, and that's the 12 block wall hanging. And as I say, very, very few of these kits. The other thing with this kit is it will not ship until towards the end of this month, probably the last week, because this wool I will need to send to Ontario and get the wool as much as I need, and that will be determined by how many kits I sell. And it's going to take about a week for it to come, and then from there on I need to put it in the hanks and then dye it. Every piece of string, thread, yarn, is dyed twice, if not 3 times. The wool is in the dye pot 3 times. So it's a lot of work for this. And as I said, I will never do this one again. Absolutely never. There are some rugs that I will never do again. And the log cabin is one of them. And this is another one. This I will never ever do again. So the kits are going to be on my website. And I hope you enjoy making it.